From the Daytona 500 to a championship preview, the legendary bricks of Indianapolis, a fiery Texas shootout, and laying it all on the line in Las Vegas. It all comes down to one final melee at Phoenix Raceway to crown a champion. Welcome to the Sports360AZ Championship Weekend Special. I am your host, Devin Henry, as we prepare to crown a champion for the third consecutive year here at Phoenix Raceway. On the way, we dig into our Championship 4 and what it will take to bring home a championship here in the desert. We sit down with the 1999 NASCAR Cup Series champion Dale Jarrett as he looks into the importance of having the championship here at Phoenix Raceway. We have the pleasure of telling the story of Kellen Mills, a Mountain View Mesa Toro football state champion, Arizona State walk-on, and now one of the best jackmans in NASCAR. We get to have some fun with last year's Truck Series champion Ben Rhodes as he shows you how to make an old-fashioned the Kentucky way. And we put you on the track with the NASCAR racing experience with some Arizona Cardinals and Arizona Diamondbacks to show you how to get around the championship venue. All of that and more all coming up on the way. As always, we are brought to you by Desert Financial Credit Union, taking care of you, taking care of your business. That is Desert Financial Credit Union. We appreciate Desert Financial Credit Union for their support across the year. 4 drivers enter Phoenix Raceway with a chance to win a championship. All you have to do is beat the other 3 drivers in the field, although there's also 36 other drivers looking for a win as well. The difficulties of Phoenix now match up with the pressure of winning a championship in a winner-take-all grudge match in the desert. This year's Championship 4 is comprised of Joey Logano, the 2018 champion with his victory in Las Vegas. The first champion crowned in Phoenix from 2020, Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, who burst into the championship with 2 of the biggest clutch walk-off wins in playoff history, and Ross Chastain, who pulled off an unfathomable move in Martinsville to claim his spot in the championship race.
I'm in a different position than I've been here in the past. I like this position a lot more. It's a lot more comfortable. I can promise you that. Just being here over and over again, right? Like as I was saying earlier, you just know what's coming around the corner next. It's not just another race. It's not that. I like everyone likes to say that. Everyone comes to championship media day and says, it's just another race. We need to act like it's another race. That's a bunch of BS. It's not just another race. It's bigger than any race you've ever been in, and it changes the way you approach it for sure.
When we came in here in 2020 and not having been in the Final Four and going out there and executing a great race and winning the thing, I think just putting together a good week and putting together a good race on Sunday is going to lend itself to be more fruitful than just leaning on the fact that you've chased on 4 before.
Driving for Joe Gibbs Racing, I don't know if there's another team that's been more successful here than Joe Gibbs Racing. There's a really big toss-up between short run, long run at Phoenix, similar to other places, but Phoenix is a very important one because it is so different. So trying to get that right, and it's a little bit of luck of the draw. You just have to see if the race plays out for us.
2 of them have been here before. Christopher and I haven't. Knowing when to race guys early in the race and when not is something that I've worked through this year and struggled with at times, but one constant all year has been that the Trackhouse cars can pass. No thoughts other than just go fast.
In the 2 championships decided so far at Phoenix Raceway, a large reason why that driver ended up raising the cup in the championship is because of what happened right here on pit road. Of course, NASCAR focuses on the drivers rallying these cars around the track, but maybe the most underappreciated part of the sport is the athletes servicing the cars on pit road. This year, NASCAR introduced the new next-gen car. It has changed everything for these pit crews and for the drivers on the track. It has also introduced the fastest pit stops in NASCAR history. In fact, the fastest pit stop ever recorded happened this year with an Arizona native working on the car. From an Arizona high school football champion to an Arizona State walk-on and now a veteran pit crew member, this is the story of Kellen Mills.
This year it is definitely just black or white, do or die. Your ability to push the limits is so dependent upon your preparation. If you err across that line, the investment of everybody back at the shop, the driver, everybody kind of goes out the window at that point.
Every football player dreams of performing on the biggest stage in the loudest venue in sports. That's what former Arizona State walk-on Kellen Mills had in mind, but not in the way it ended up as one of the top jackmen in NASCAR. Mills was part of the last state championship of the Mountain View football dynasty in Mesa in 2002 and walked on at Arizona State, eventually earning himself a scholarship to play for the Sun Devils through 2007. But when football life was coming to an end, an unlikely opportunity presented itself.
Our strength coach, Joe Ken, was a big NASCAR fan, and he put myself and a couple other my teammates in touch with some of the NASCAR coaches, and pretty much just set us up at the tryout.
One of those teammates that joined Kellen was a fellow ASU walk-on from Corona del Sol High School, his roommate, locker neighbor, and best friend, Brent Neighbor.
Kellen is just a natural leader. People tend to kind of follow him. You're a better person for being around him. He's never going to let anything kind of stop him or get in his way, or people tell him no, he's going to fight through it. Our life kind of as a pit crew member was very similar to how it was as a football player in college. I mean, you're in there early, spending long hours, you're watching film, you're practicing, you're working out.
While Neighbor went back to football and now resides in the office of the Washington Commanders, Mills serves as the jackman for star driver Denny Hamlin, where he was part of an 8.6-second pit stop this season, the fastest in NASCAR history. While the mental mindset of moving to a NASCAR pit crew presented a massive hurdle, the lifestyle of being a college football walk-on played into his path to success.
Those kind of trials and tribulations you experience as a walk-on, it's always a battle, it's always a fight, trying to kind of prove your worth and prove you deserve to be there.
But ultimately, when I moved across the country, I just took my belongings, drove across the country, and I feel like having had success with those types of gambles before made it a little bit less intimidating to go do a similar thing jumping into the NASCAR side.
I kind of related a lot football-wise as like a special teams player, because you're doing a pit stop and then you're sitting and you're just kind of waiting for a long time, and then you have to be ready at the blink of an eye to get out and do another pit stop.
A lot of guys that come from football have to get the mentality that you certainly aren't the primary piece of the pie. You're definitely a contributor to what the driver's doing and what he wants to achieve, and you got to make sure that you don't take any more risk than is necessary to deliver as much as you can deliver for him.
But Mills still can't get away from football. After working in IndyCar and moving to NASCAR with Team Penske, Mills has pitted the past 5 years for Pro Football Hall of Famer and former Commanders coach Joe Gibbs.
It's really kind of surreal. Whenever he's around, I try to take a step back and observe, like, what exactly is he doing? What kind of things does he focus on? It's an honor to kind of work with him and be able to grasp little bits of wisdom from how he behaves and what he focuses on, for sure.
Mills has evolved into a veteran pit crew member and is still in search of helping Denny Hamlin acquire that elusive Cup Series championship.
I'm part of something big. I'm part of something really important, and I want to make sure that I hold up my end of the bargain. Make sure all our T's are crossed and our I's are dotted, and when the race comes, we'll be there and put it on them and see what fate will give us.
Final Fours, the PGA, college football national championships, the NBA Finals, Super Bowls, the Valley has become a hotspot for championship events. NBC analyst and the 1999 Cup Series champion Dale Jarrett dissects what it means to host the NASCAR Championship here in Phoenix this year and also potentially for years to come.
I don't know that there's an absolute 100% way of saying that we need to keep the race here, but we kind of need to keep the race here. Phoenix area is a destination. Whenever you're having, which will happen next year, the Super Bowl here and the Waste Management on the same weekend, I think that it's a place that NASCAR needs to be for the championship. And the racetrack itself lends to really good racing. What we've seen in the 2 years prior are just fantastic races that come right down to the end, and drivers doing what they have to do and teams doing what they have to do to win. So it's not just a matter of having speed. The pit crew last year helped Kyle Larson win the race at that time, and then he did his job on the track. So the whole venue, they've done such a fantastic job when they changed the track of changing everything for the fans, and it's one of the destinations that fans look at that they want to be here, be a part of, and there's evidence there that the fans love this because it's been sold out for quite a while now.
So as a former Cup Series champion, you look at what this format is in the playoffs, and it's kind of ridiculous because you have this three-race sprint, whoever's the best here at Phoenix. What kind of race car driver in your mind, mindset-wise, talent-wise, does that kind of lend itself towards to help them get to that championship race and win that title?
As I look at things now, it's always been you have to have talent. So we know that all of them have the talent to do this. Now, your mindset, I think that it's come more a mental side of this, and we see the toughness of the drivers with that because there are so many ups and downs through just the different rounds that these drivers have to go through to get themselves into that next round to have the opportunity to be a part of the championship four and race for that championship. So I think that's become a bigger part than ever before. When you had a 34 or 36 race season that you just had to continue on week in and week out, that was tough mentally too. But the way that these drivers have to navigate now, and are they going to be able to have enough points to get themselves through? Do they have to go and be in a must-win situation in that third race at some of the most difficult places? And now they have to get themselves mentally prepared for the grind each and every week.
The impact of the NASCAR Championship spreads so far beyond just its roots here at the track in Avondale. Whether it be the drivers, the teams, or even the track itself, they do what they can to reach out to the Valley as a whole. Whether it be Josh Williams doing its robot hospital visits at Phoenix Children's Hospital, or even more drivers chipping in to help out the local communities across the Valley.
These are your holes that you have to get to make it.
Oh, you have to make all of them?
Yeah.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm
You want to
great.
take the first shot?
Whoa! Yeah.
Oh, let me see that. Oh, yeah. I'm making this right here. Ready?
Kids have been preparing for the entire week, so this is a big treat for them to have Noah come.
Great to get here to the Boys and Girls Club and see all the kids and just the smiles on their face.
I think that kids get an opportunity at the Boys and Girls Clubs that they might not someplace else. So not only are the partnerships that we have in the community super deep, our partnership with Phoenix Raceway and NASCAR is really deep. When you get to see someone in person that actually participates in that sport, that gives kids an opportunity to think that maybe I could do something like that.
How do you become a race car driver?
How do you get all the random questions? You never know what you're going to get, especially with a younger group. They did their research too, and definitely really appreciate them making signs and making me feel welcome. They really made me feel that way here. So
You can tell he's just obviously a kid at heart. Rolls in his Nikes. He's got some cool swag for the kids, and he's just a delight. This is something the kids will talk about for a very long time.
it's a privilege to be able to come and talk to them, and glad to be able to put a smile on their face.
Favorite movie? Oh, boy. Has anyone watched the movie Cars here? Has anyone watched Cars? I thought so. That's a pretty good movie.
I don't really know. It was a whirlwind. As soon as we walked in there were a bunch of really happy kids, so that was cool. I got to sign some autographs.
Anytime four guys come in dressed like we are, it's going to bring some excitement, whether we're cool or not. So it was good.
Oh, it's pure mayhem in there, man. It's wild. There's a lot of kids. The adults here have their hands full. Smiles, some excitement, something to cheer about, and had a lot of questions about what do we race, when do we race, how do we race, how do I fit in the car, and just answering those questions and hopefully sparking some interest for racing. We're leaving behind a pit stop area with flags and race cars.
They were having a blast in there, and it made us all smile.
It's all about fun for them and at their age. Hopefully a bright spot in their day. Like I said, when four guys come dressed like this, something's different for sure.
Now let's meet some of the local heroes who will be racing this weekend. The 2021 Daytona 500 champion Michael McDowell is capping off the greatest season in his career. The Glendale native will pilot the Front Row Motorsports 34 car as he closes a remarkable season in NASCAR. Tucson's Alex Bowman is returning to the Hendrick Motorsports number 48 for the first time since suffering a concussion at Texas 6 weeks ago. Bowman has had success at his home track and would love to spoil the title race with a win. And the USAC Triple Crown champion J.J. Yaley will race Saturday for MBM Motorsports as the Phoenix native closes out 2022.
This is going to be the weirdest press conference ever. You know what? Here's what I got to say. What was the question? Sheldon Creed tried to get all, funky with me. And I said, ain't happening, Mama Jamma. Boom, boom, boom. My crew chief did a shoey tonight. It was awesome. It was my shoey. And his shoey. It's cool. My wife looks really embarrassed. Are you embarrassed? We're champions. Yeah. I went to this place called The Barn tonight. They gave me like a ring and stuff, but I couldn't keep it. And I asked the bartender, I said, can you make me an old fashioned? I'm from Kentucky. I like bourbon. She know how to make an old fashioned.
We are with the Bad Mama Jamma himself, the defending NASCAR Truck Series champion, Ben Rhodes, and we are inside the bar, one of the many amenities here at Phoenix Raceway, and special drink this year. We're gonna be able to come and get old fashions. You went a little viral last year for maybe a little bit too much alcohol after winning a championship. I don't know how else you celebrate though, but figured no one else would be better to show us the right way. Just have a nice drink while you're out here at the racetrack. So we're making a Ben Rhodes Kentucky Kid old fashioned. So take me through what we're doing here. Go ahead, let's try this out. Go make one for me. Let's see what we got.
Well, first off, I'm going to preface this by saying I'm a lot better at consuming them than I am at concocting them. But nevertheless, here we go. So we don't have all of the necessary bar tools, but we're going to do this the fun way. So you're going to take a teaspoon of sugar. We're going to come in here with 2 ounces of any bourbon you like, any whiskey, really any alcohol. You can make an old fashioned out of anything. So we'll get 2 ounces of this. I also have a couple dashes of orange bitters. Then we're gonna come in here with, where's my ice at? I've got ice here somewhere. My ice. And then we're gonna mix it all up and then strain it into another glass with clean ice. So we're gonna set this straw back down. Again, I don't have the strainer per se, but we're gonna do this the Ben Rhodes way. We're gonna pour it in here. We're gonna get a new glass, and then we're gonna strain it into that glass. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get some ice. Put the ice in. It's already been chilled. And we'll take an orange peel. In this case, kind of make it a twist, express that into the glass. Garnish it. Oh yeah. And I'll just drop it in. That's going to be good old-fashioned.
Before we say goodbye, we gotta get you on the track, right? So how about this? Let's put you in the car with the NASCAR racing experience with some Arizona Cardinals, some Arizona Diamondbacks, and they can convey to you what it's like to race at the home of the championship.
Let's go. Time for that. Ricky Bobby told me, guys, the first year last, we're gonna find out. I'm ready to go. This is about as American as it gets right here. I'm more nervous now than I was for my debut. 100%. Oh, all right, man. Let's go, baby. Sickest thing I've ever done. Let's go. The thrill of going around the corners pretty fast at a high rate of speed. You can't beat it. You cannot beat it.
Was crawling around the track.
No. I had this guy beat. Would have lapped him if we were on the track at the same time, but you know, it's all good. It was fun.
You can really feel the car is like sucked to the track. When you're going into something completely foreign and new like this, like on a machine that can kill you, it's like definitely a little bit of a harrowing experience.
A little nervous, but let's see if I can open this thing up.
You want to have a fast car?
It's more exhilarating, you know, being in the car, being in that driver's seat, feeling how, you know, the car really moves and whatnot once you're on the bend. So we put a bet on me, Victor, and Cam. You know, they all think they're gonna go faster than me. You see him right there. Watch him. He's scared. He's driving scared. He can't compete with me.
After watching Jesse going like 5 miles per hour, I know he cannot be talking. You know, he could learn a couple things from me, man. I've been trying to teach him how to drive for a while now.
Bro, I was shook. I'm like, yo, I slowed down.
I definitely got to say that the ride with Dale was awesome. Definitely really cool. Yeah, I mean, just the whole experience in general is something that I'll definitely remember for the rest of my life.
I needed to drop my cojones a little bit. I didn't drop them enough. I was a little nervous. It's that adrenaline that you get on game day is that same adrenaline that you get out here. You know, you're going 100+ miles an hour. It's that same adrenaline. How many times you get a chance to say you've been in a NASCAR and you rode on a professional track? It's kind of like if they asked somebody to come put pads on and play in the game for a day. They would love that. So it's the same feeling.
Now it's my turn to drive this car around the championship venue of Phoenix Raceway. You can do the same by visiting NASCARRacingExperience.com. They will be back for ride-alongs and for drives in December, February, and March. A big thank you to everyone who joined us here on our NASCAR Championship Weekend Sports360AZ special. Cannot wait to see who races the Cup and becomes a NASCAR champion here at Phoenix on Sunday. I'm Devin Henry. Make it a great weekend.